closer you are to the mic, the better it's going to sound.
Right.
So if you need to cough or something, like you can do that. Certainly,
Yeah.
You can dab.
You can,
You're like, you could do this.
yeah.
All right, everybody. Welcome to episode 12 of the Mark Rodney Show. We have a guest today, Madison Downing.
Yes. Hi.
Yes, she's here.
Hi.
She was a part of Patina, an actress that we got for the part. So we're breaking down Patina in episode 12 today, talking about the entire experience, what that was like. Please go check it out if you haven't yet.
Yes.
It's short, it's sweet,
Yeah.
it's emotional. Made my mom almost cry. It's true.
I love it.
Yeah.
Really?
She was like,
Made me almost
she was
cry a
like,
couple days on set, actually.
Yeah, it was a very emotional
From the
little
acting, right?
Yeah, actually.
Yeah.
from our performance.
Yeah.
And like beautiful camera shots, but yeah.
Yes.
He's shedding a tear. We're like, it's really working.
Yes.
And
I'm just
he's like, no,
a masterpiece.
It's the sunset. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've never done something so good. Beautiful shot. So I'm actually curious. I'm going to give a super brief summary synopsis.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to throw to you because I want to know what it felt like from your perspective to just randomly be like, there's a short film happening. You want to be in it with, I think you knew of me, but that was probably it.
I knew you played basketball because my sister went to the same school.
Yep,
right.
and that's it. That was her only knowledge. So, Patina, Ethan and I had the desire to do something over the summer while I was off of school.
As we always do.
Yes, as we always do. It was like, I gotta do something creative. Please let me do something creative.
Yeah.
And you were itching to get the camera out.
So
and shoot
I actually
something.
challenged you. I said,
You did?
yes, let's do a creative project, but let's do it something that we can shoot in one day. Let's do something with a location that's not hard to get, and that's going to be super affordable.
And that killed me inside. No. No, I said challenge accepted.
Yep.
But that is a challenge for me, partially because I overwrite every time I have an assignment.
That's why it was silent.
Exactly. It was like, if you want it to be short, there better be no dialogue or it's
Yeah.
going to end up being 13
Oh, I think I
pages
said that
long.
too. Like,
I think you said no dialogue.
No dialogue, or like little
or minimal dialogue.
I remember you saying it. Like we were supposed to have like 2 lines. Like
Okay.
when I got there that first time, like we
Yeah.
had only had 2 lines, and it was at the
Beginning.
like, the beginning,
And
yeah.
it kicks
that
it
was
off.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then it was going to be led by music
Yep.
in our performances.
Yep.
Yeah.
There is talking. We are like conversing
Yeah.
in it, but it's never the focal point. Like you
Right.
can't really hear what we're talking about.
We didn't even
or
have
what
an
we're
audio
saying.
guy on the day.
Right.
If that tells you anything.
Yeah, which is crazy. So he was like, that was the challenge. And so I wrote Patina. And I was like, what if I do a little relationship drama? Wanted to do something slightly more serious. Normally, if I want to do something fun and creative and we don't have a lot of time or money, I usually write a little comedy sketch. It's
Yeah.
usually a little skit. But I was itching to do a little bit more drama, like
Something with a
acting
little bit more
wise.
emotional depth. Right?
Emotional depth, and the challenge was keep it short, simple, whatever. It just seemed to make sense to do this little like vignette
Yeah.
sort of thing. So we wrote Patina, and then
First of all, what does patina mean for those who don't know?
yeah, that's great.
I had to Google it.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
You
that's
asked
pretty
me to be a part of it. I was
important
like,
to the
yeah,
project.
sure. What is that?
So the short film actually starts with the definition. So if you've seen it, at least you get the definition up top. But patina is basically on metals, and it can be on leather and other things
Yeah.
too. It's a kind of filmy thing that grows on the surface of something over time as it ages. So think like, you don't like that definition?
I don't. It's close enough. That's fine.
I'm not a scientist, I'm an artist. But like a coin goes from being shiny and brand new to like covered in like maybe green or
Yeah.
something. Like the Statue of Liberty, for
That's what I
example.
was gonna say.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
That was mine.
Yeah, the Statue of Liberty, which was originally what, like some kind of bronzy color? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And then over time, patina made it green. And some argue that it's more beautiful after experiencing that patinaed
Yeah.
effect over time.
The reason I had a problem with the definition is because I have a background in leather working, and
It gets weathered over time. I know
right,
that's part of
it's
it,
like it's the idea that like it gives it a new look over time. So in the everyday carry community, if you will, like wallets, knives, and stuff
that
like
was the
that,
nerdiest thing I've ever heard in my life.
it's a real thing. If you're
Sorry.
out there, you know.
The everyday carry.
But like it makes your wallet look nicer because it's like all the scuffs
Oh,
and
okay,
putting it in
yeah.
and out of your pocket like burnishes the outside and actually makes it like a nicer looking piece.
So anyway, through that super long and arduous definition of patina, the point of the entire film was that love grows more beautiful over time.
Yeah.
It's like it starts out shiny and new, and that's beautiful and exciting and great. But through time and through weathering and through getting through difficult things, love can become more beautiful. And that's me being an eternal optimist, not necessarily the results of my life thus far.
Same.
Which we were able to be like,
Yes.
hey, we can actually have a positive experience with this, even though we haven't in real life. You're married.
Yeah.
Congrats. Good
Highly
job.
recommend.
Highly recommend. Hit patina is
Yeah,
real
and
in
I
his
can
life.
I can speak to that. Like definitely, there is, like you're saying, a good shiny element. It's fun, new, and exciting, but then like it just unlocks like deeper levels. You know, the more you're together with a person and you've committed to each other for that long and things like that. So,
And you were talking about even the wallet going in and out, right? And like scuffs.
Yeah.
It's like you're going to go through stuff.
Yeah.
Like hard things. But in essence, that's the stuff that's bringing you closer together.
and to get to
You
know,
know?
somebody that fully, and there's going to be like ugly parts of them that you discover and things like that. I'm talking about me, not my wife.
Smart answer.
Smart. Yeah, I was going to say. Well done.
No, but I'm just saying, like, as you get to know a person fully, right, then it's more beautiful that your relationship and that commitment holds up over that time.
You're more fully known.
right.
And that's like
And that's
kinda
like
what it's
the
about.
human longing, right?
Yep.
So it is a beautiful thing. I guess as the only married person, I guess I'll speak to that.
Even though I wrote it.
Yeah.
No, but that is kind of what I wanted to, that's why I named it that. Like that was, and why we have a coin at the beginning and at the end to kind of tie together that symbolic nature. And that's what I wanted to explore, both as an actor and as like a director and a creative. And then you got the chance to DP,
Yeah.
and you were itching to do that as well, to
So
get out
fun.
and get some pretty shots. We got to go outside, which is the quintessential thing if you want beautiful cinematography, but you don't want to spend a lot of money.
Yep.
That's what you do. Outside is
Absolutely.
already pretty, especially at like the perfect times of day.
Right.
Touch
like our
grass, kids.
sunset.
Which really mattered for ours.
Yeah.
It did. Even like waiting till night to make sure and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So I was itching to do that. I wrote that. That's what I was kind of trying to do with it. We got all ready for the day. The day's coming. We're gathering props, which you'd think for something like that, you'd watch it and you'd think there's not really any props. Right? Somehow there's always
Yeah.
As always.
$100 to $200 worth of props we have to pick up from Amazon before the
Right.
day.
Right.
Whether that was, small little like the candles that we had to get, or like the rose,
rose
petals,
petals.
that flew everywhere. That I
We
dropped.
cleaned them up, I promise.
We did. We didn't want to kill any of the local wildlife. But I also spilled them out of my car when I was
When he was
cleaning
cleaning
up.
up days
I
later.
forgot they were in like the blanket, and I just picked up the blanket, and they just flew everywhere. I looked like an idiot. I was running around my parking lot in my apartment complex, picking tiny little rose petals off the ground. I'm sure people were like, "What's his deal?" Or like, "What happened?"
It looked like a romantic gesture just went terribly
Went
wrong.
terribly
Right.
wrong. Yeah, it literally looked like I was like picking up the broken pieces of
Yeah.
a failed romantic attempt. It wasn't true. It was for a creative project. If you saw me at my apartment complex picking up rose petals, it was just a film. But yeah, so we gathered all that stuff up. It was pretty simple in that regard, though, to prep for.
Yeah.
We location scouted. We went and looked at the couple places we wanted to go. There's a reservoir very close to where I live, and
Yeah.
kind of close to where Madison's at, too. And that ended up being kind of the primary spot. We went to a couple other pretty like nature preserve areas.
You and I scouted it out on a separate day
Yep.
before, yeah. And
Basically
then-
went to every public park and public available pretty outdoor setting, and kind of scouted out and decided where in the story we wanted everything to happen. Once we had that planned, it was just a matter of going and shooting. It was truly one day,
Yep.
which was really nice, and having to schedule out, okay, what's nighttime, what's sunset, making sure we're getting all that stuff at the right times. But relatively, I think I stuck to the prompt. Simple, cheap,
Yep.
and outdoor.
Yep.
Yeah.
Minimal dialogue.
We did it.
I think I did it. So we brought Madison in
I was going to say,
as well to act.
I'm
And
curious. So that's
what
a
I
little
wanna
bit
know.
about the production
Yeah.
behind the scenes, but how did you make the connection with Madison at first?
Yes.
He DM'd me on Instagram.
Really? That's how the first
Yes.
outreach? I love it.
Yeah.
Yes, but with a precursor, so that you weren't just like, who the heck is?
Well, I knew who
this
you
sexy
were,
guy?
but like.
But I didn't know that. I didn't know she did.
Yeah.
Someone that knew me, that knew him, Facebook messaged me.
Yes.
And it was like, hey, Brody's looking for an actress. Are you available? And I was like, I just graduated college from a performing arts school, so yes, I need something to do. So in that same way that you were like, I'm itching to do something over the summer, I had just finished out my schooling, so I was itching to do something that was still like my major related, but also.
And what was your major?
I was a theater arts major.
Okay.
So I studied like not just acting, but also directing, producing, writing.
Great. But for the stage.
Did some film stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
She's
most of it-
well-rounded.
Yes. Hire me.
Yeah. She was great.
Shameless plug.
Yeah.
No, but most of it was for the theater, but we took some like film classes and stuff like that, and like so I felt like I was like qualified enough to like I can do a film, but it is a little bit more intimidating in that sense because the techniques are just completely different for what you do on a camera versus what you have to do on a stage. But yeah, so he DM'd me, asked me, and I was like, absolutely, yeah. And then
Like I get to work with the great director, Brody Bowman.
Right.
And production company, Mark Rodney
And then she was
Entertainment.
like, that guy who played basketball?
no, really, like
does
I
creative
didn't,
stuff?
I did not know that. I was like,
That's
he
hilarious.
he was like a good basketball player. That's
What is
I
this?
heard, and that I never saw you play basketball, so I don't know. But
She heard correct.
Oh, please. Which is just hilarious to me that people like that she knew you from that before
know.
because
Yeah.
the people who have met you in the past like 5 years, like you just haven't like done a whole lot of like sports.
They wouldn't know anything about my sports career.
Right.
A lot of people are surprised to find
In
out.
fact,
So it's
when
just,
they found
it's
out,
And I was like,
hilarious
oh yeah,
to us.
he played basketball, and
Right.
and then you're like, I'm an art teacher too. I was like, really?
What?
Like that's crazy.
Weird combo.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it ended up being like also one of the busiest times in my life too. So I was like very excited about it, but also I think I drove, which like I had friends with me from where I was working. So I was in outdoor theater production summer stock for 3 months in New Philadelphia, Ohio.
Right?
Yeah, it was a historical drama,
Yes.
musical. Like there was
Heavy,
music in it.
giant clothing
Yes.
in 90-degree weather.
I probably wore like a 10-pound dress every single night and a wig and a bonnet. And yeah, it was so
As
hot.
normal
I
people
couldn't do
do in the
Like
summer.
full face of makeup every single night, yeah. And then we also did another
Hunks of
musical.
makeup falling off
yeah,
from the heat.
for real. We were doing
Melting.
Cinderella too. So we had
Jeez.
done all of the rehearsals for that and everything. So I was in the thick of rehearsal when we were in Fort Wayne to sing the song the first time. That did not go very well.
Hey, by the
For
way,
me.
at the recording of this podcast, the song is almost done and sounds lovely.
Yay!
It does sound great. And we talked about this going into it because I knew there would be some fear behind it. So John and I had just done Bye Bye Bye.
Right.
So I'm going to throw this out here. We recorded our first time and we were like, I thought we could sing. I must be wrong. This is the worst thing I've ever heard. I was
Yeah.
like, I'm terrible at this, is what I
Yeah.
thought. Okay, recording in a studio, very different.
Right.
There's no echo, there's no whatever. It's like the driest sound possible. Like you think you're on key, and most people who are even good singers are like,
Right.
there's variance, in other words,
Yeah.
from being perfectly on pitch, and everything stands out. And we had to go back and re-record some stuff and
Well,
get used to being on
'cause
the microphone.
Even I knew it was going to be rough going there because
You were sick.
I was ill. Yeah. I was on vocal rest from the performances that I was on, and then like hadn't really. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't really practice the song that much because
Yeah.
I was in rehearsals for the other musical that I was in. So I was like trying to learn that, trying to learn this, and all like trying to do everything at one time. And then I had a performance the night before. I had to wake up and drive there, and I don't know why I slept for 1 hour, and then
I remember you saying, you basically didn't
I
sleep.
literally I did not sleep. Drove 4 hours to Fort Wayne, and then drove. My house here is like an hour from Fort Wayne. I took like a 4-hour nap, and then drove back to New Philly. So it was
crazy.
it was just crazy.
Yeah.
And then when it was finally time to then do, and like I hadn't really heard anything after that because
Right.
then I just knew I got to be back for the
Filming, the
of
actual
it.
filming, Right. yeah.
So, and then that ended up being, I think that particular 2 weeks leading up to, and then that day, I had driven to and from New Philadelphia to here for and it's 3 hours both ways. I think we drove like 24 hours total or something like that.
Good grief.
Because I was doing my youth theater workshop.
Yeah.
I was teaching that to like 30, 15 and under children, and they had a performance the day before. And so like we had finished that 2 weeks. I had just finished their performance, and then all my friends that came with me from New Philadelphia, I had like 4 friends with me. They all like slept at my house all day, and like my parents like bought them a pizza, and they like came downstairs, grabbed the pizza, and went back upstairs.
That's a my dad
And were like
move.
waiting for me to like be done filming, and then we left. I got home from filming this at like 11 o'clock midnight something,
Yeah. Very end
and
of the day.
then
After crying.
after sobbing, then all 4 of my friends, we all like packed up my car and went
That's
back
crazy.
to
'Cause you had a
New
tea
Philadelphia
party.
because I had to wake up and be a princess, a fairy godmother at a tea party for like 4-year-olds
That's
for like
crazy.
2 hours. I was floating. It was ridiculous.
So in other words, Madison did not sleep
No.
and was very busy,
Yeah.
extraordinarily busy, but still somehow found time, which we appreciate.
Yeah, and it was so
to come
fun.
out
It
and
was
be there.
because doing the theater stuff, it's like I love doing that, and it's so fulfilling, and it's my passion. But I really love film. Like if you would ask me like what's your favorite like play versus like what's your favorite like TV show, I could talk about like TV and film like much easier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think
I'm the
also
same
it's
way.
just like more accessible
Yeah.
too. It's like I've seen like one Broadway show ever,
Right.
and then like regular plays like I saw like one at the Civic Center.
And for me,
You
true
know?
acting experience came from theater first.
Yeah.
And that's where I like started out, even though I always loved films.
Yeah.
I probably would be this exact same way.
Right.
I've learned a little bit more having done theater in college and theater in high school to like understand a little bit more about those shows. But I'm certainly not the guy who knows all the theater shows and can like talk about them. I'm
But
way more film.
As an actor, I'm sure you guys can both speak to this, but it's harder to find those opportunities too to get on-screen experience. Whereas like
Oh,
yeah.
for sure.
for
So I create my own.
there's more shows.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, that's why we've been doing this for a while. It's like we wanted to like no one's giving us those opportunities. You kind of
Right.
have to just make
Create
your own
them.
films.
Right.
And if you don't have the connections and it doesn't work, it's hard to do. So
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that was like, I've always said that's one of the reasons I got into film, honestly. I love to write, and I learned I like to direct. But the reason I jumped into it was I liked writing and I liked acting. Then I learned through the process, like what directing was and how that works. And even producing and stuff
Right.
like that, what that takes. So acting was always a driving force for me, and even starting in theater like you. But yeah, so we got her there. You talked about the singing, so we'll briefly throw that in. I was
Yeah.
overzealous, and I was like, he's like, make it simple. And I was like, I'm going to write a whole song.
yeah. Oh my gosh, I forgot about that. It was going to be
Yeah.
like this.
Yeah,
huge thing.
So I wrote an entire song for Patina, the lyrics. And then I got with a couple of friends, Jonathan Schlegel and Drew Evans, who helped write the actual song. Shout out. Yeah.
They helped with Roger previously. Drew helped with Roger, and then
Jonathan helped with Bye Bye
helped with
Bye.
Bye Bye Bye.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so I brought them together. Apparently they knew each other. Who knew? I had worked with them separately and did not know that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And then they worked together on Patina, and we came up with the song, we came up with the music, we recorded ahead of time, and we got out on the day and did exactly what we were setting out to do, which was, all right, let's shoot this vignette, let's make it have emotional depth
Right.
and have like
Yeah.
an acting experience for you and I both to get to like, I think, having not known this, but I was itching to do something a little bit more dramatic or have a little bit more depth, like you said, Ethan. And I guess you were hoping to have a little experience.
I
of
just
some
love
kind.
dramas.
Drama. It's great.
I'm like, I feel like I'm fairly well rounded in terms of my like, especially my training.
Just so you know, you can't hire
I'm
for
sorry,
anything.
I don't mean it like. I'm
it's
sorry.
not
I'm sorry.
just drama.
I don't mean it like
Comedy,
that.
drama,
That's funny.
TV or film,
Stop.
or stage,
Or stage.
Okay, I mean he's not wrong, but
resume. We'll drop the resume in the
Oh my
comments.
God.
down
Check the
below.
description down below.
Yeah, for her resume.
but oh my gosh, I don't even know what I was gonna say.
Sorry,
now.
just threw
No,
her off.
It's okay.
It's my bad.
But with
You love drama.
yes, but I'm typically like if you're gonna like typecast, like I'm like the funny sidekick friend. Like typically, like that would be like my type in stage.
If
Like
you're
that's what I would
typecast,
like
yeah.
go for. So and then I just really love doing dramas and like the leads that I got like at school that would more so if I was like this funny sidekick or it was like a lead in a drama and I just love them.
You
I was
ate
like
up the drama.
yes, I was
Yeah.
Becca in Rabbit Hole and that was like is so depressing. I don't know if you know that show. It's like
I think we
sad.
talked about this
Yes,
before because
it's
I did a
so
monologue
sad
from it
and
once.
depressing and beautiful and lovely, and like taking on like those feelings I just love. And it's not the same story by any means, but that same feeling and just like the realness of that and like being more I guess like dropped in and just like authentic, I guess. And that like just like those tapping into those feelings I like more and feel more like connected to my performance, I guess, and myself. I feel more grounded in those sorts of performances, I guess, than like a comedy always, I guess.
Something very real, true. And this is coming from somebody who also kind of has a more comedic background or sensibility. Like most of the time when I'm performing in something, I'm doing something funny. I'm being goofy in some way, right? And so it is very refreshing as someone who's normally like really going for the laughs in one way or another, which can be, in my head, sometimes more challenging than just being honest and real. It is almost a relief to just play something straight and like kind of just true and emotionally vulnerable. And it also is a great acting exercise. And I've done that before too. It's on our channel, like where I was like, I just want to do an acting exercise. We're going to do this scene from Ted Lasso. We did that before. And that was just me wanting to do dramatic acting. And same thing here. So that was a really great part of the day for me. So if you've gone and seen Patina, we go from just meeting to like honeymoon phasing to growing apart and having this like distance, the stage of like we're like kind of unspoken angry, right?
Like,
and you just get like less
contempt-ish, I guess.
Yeah, there's like a little bit of like
a little bit of resentment, maybe. Yeah,
stuff has happened.
Yeah,
and we haven't worked through it yet. To a full-on fallout. Yeah, which was maybe the best part of the evening. At least acting-wise.
It was the funnest part,
which
for
is
sure.
Wild to say, but just like acting-wise, we cried. Yeah, we yelled. Yeah, which is I realize I love getting angry.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Frustrated.
Every script, I'm like, can we squeeze in an argument
somewhere?
It's just
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
They just work.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe it's cathartic. I don't know. Maybe I don't
well,
get mad
that's what I was
enough.
gonna say. I literally I just broke up with my boyfriend at that time.
A little bit of news.
So I was like, it's not news. I've blasted that everywhere. But
never mind.
Sorry.
It's not breaking or anything.
No.
You heard it last here.
Yeah.
No, sorry.
Last
but
one.
Like
of the news.
when I had recently broken up with him at that point, and so then like the fight that I guess didn't happen. Yeah. Maybe then like happened there, and so it was like, like
a chance to unleash a little bit.
And it feels cathartic because I feel like sometimes, especially when you're doing something that you've like created, that they are kind of based off of real scenarios or things that happen, but it's not necessarily a scenario that you've been in. So even if it doesn't like relate to your life, you still find like a cathartic, I feel like, release.
It's not true reality, but it is emotional reality.
Oh, yeah, for
like
sure.
it's an emotional place you've lived in, and you're getting to express that maybe in the way you wish you could, which is like sounds very pretentious. But as actors, that's all the good stuff. It's super fun. Yeah. So we had a really good time doing that. Big emotional file. Then the part that makes everybody cry at the end, which is the proposal scene. Where
there's the reconciliation first,
right?
And
like
then
the
proposal.
Yeah,
we're
reconciliation.
Like looking out into the sunset together.
Yeah,
I
so
love that
like,
part.
Wow.
It's so
and
sweet.
Yeah, we kind of have this moment where we come back together. It's kind of the forgiveness element and like what it takes to
and
overcome
like maturing
obstacle.
of the relationship too, right?
Yeah.
Like that's some of the direction that we were kind of giving you guys on the day was like
giddy and honeymooning versus we're just content to sit here next to each other.
Yeah, I was gonna say I really like too that in the other parts of it we ad-libbed like that first day, and like I'm just like I think I repeated the same sentence like 4 times because we kept like cutting and starting over.
Right.
But
that's the other different thing about film, right? Than theater is like take after take. Yeah.
And what I liked about that particular scene was that it was silent. Like there was, we weren't speaking to each other. We weren't even necessarily like looking at each other. There were like maybe like a little moment or something, but
stuff,
like it just felt like peaceful rather than like feeling like you had to fill the space. Like if you're like in the car or something and you're like, I feel like I should say something because this is awkward, but maybe they don't think it's awkward, so it's fine. Right. But then there's other times where you're not even thinking about that. You're like, this isn't awkward. I can just exist with this person.
Yeah.
And I loved that you could see that change
progression
from the beginning of like these 2 nervous people that
Chatty
don't know
and-
each other and don't know like a piece with each other. And then like seeing that at the end, like in
Yeah.
that little part, I think it's so
really cool.
sweet.
Yeah, and we talked through all that stuff in the moment
Right.
too, which was great. Like being like, we're just gonna sit during this part. Or
They're
like,
very
this is what
intentional
we're doing.
choices.
Yeah.
And then the big sunset finish,
Yeah.
which was the rose petals and the
Real
candles.
quick, I'm just going to touch on the weather here. So watch the whole thing again.
I forgot.
That was one day, okay?
Yeah.
So
One day.
obviously it was
Morning
hot.
to
It was
night.
like, was it July?
it
or
had to have been
August?
90.
It was the
Wasn't it
end
90?
of July.
End of July.
It
Hottest
really
season
is.
of the
It
year.
was. It
Very
was
hot.
like because at the end of July is like always the hottest day of the year. It's like at the end of July, and it had to have been the hottest day. So
Right.
It
far.
was so
It was
hot.
terrible.
In Ohio, you're always taking a risk if you're planning production like that
yeah.
outside. I
Right.
mean, it's not like a huge thing where we have like tents and things that
Well,
people
'cause
can
then
go under.
it poured rain too.
Right.
So
But the morning started
Talk about-
overcast. It was still hot, but overcast. And then we broke for a meal break and then came back. We filmed some more. It was overcast. And then when we went away for dinner, it just absolutely
Yeah.
downpoured.
we were like, are we even gonna get that pretty
Right.
end of the
I
day?
thought we would have
because
to
we
be
had
done.
thought it was gonna be
golden
gray.
hour
Gross.
planned and blue hour, which is like dusk basically. And these are very important parts of our day. Without it, we have an incomplete film. We'd probably have to figure out another day where we can line up.
Well,
with
they
With
were
food.
busy
the like
Madison
two
Downing.
technically probably like the two most important like
Right.
scenes
Exactly.
to get to. Really.
We wait out the rain just a little bit longer, make our way back to the reservoir where we're filming.
Yeah.
Sky's blue, white clouds, fluffy clouds,
It
and
was so
then
pretty.
just the most beautiful sunset you've ever seen.
I was like, thank you,
Randomly
Lord.
in
For
this
real.
random spot.
It was crazy. It was like the grossest possible weather, and then
Yeah.
it just cleared into like it's time to film.
And
like we put the lights in the
more
sky.
than
It was
that,
so beautiful.
It was a beautiful blue hour. Like it didn't just
Yeah.
stop there. Like the golden hour was awesome and everything we needed it to be. But then
We got
the-
some pinks and purples. And
right.
stuff.
We weren't done yet. We still had to get the blue hour stuff. So like you're worried about timing and all that stuff. So, but the footage just I loved it so much. We were using this is the DP talking, but like lenses that could open up all the ways to let in all the light. So we barely had to light. I think I gave you guys like a little bit of fill, depending on what direction you were walking towards. But like it just couldn't have asked for better, and like probably the maximum range of variation within a 24-hour period that we could have asked for.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was really the great part is we kind of counted on that, and maybe foolishly that we'd be like,
Ignorant.
we're gonna get like the morning, and then we're gonna get a perfect sunset, and then nighttime.
But it
blue
needs to look
hour,
like
yeah.
it's over the course of several weeks, if not months.
Right.
You know.
Which also meant this is the other fun part of the day. By the way, we were talking about the heat. I want to say this first. I got dehydrated. I drank a lot of
like
water.
Scorchingly hot. For
That
real.
night, I woke up in the middle of the night, tried to go to the bathroom, and almost passed out.
Yeah.
I literally
man.
like the blood whoosh, completely dehydrated. Had to like drink Gatorade and
Yikes.
stuff like for a bit to like recover. It was crazy. And that was me consciously trying to drink water.
yeah, we
throughout
had-
the day.
He drank way more water than I did. I
Yeah.
think I had like two bottles.
Yeah, I was
That's crazy.
chugging,
Yeah.
and I like almost lost it that night.
You
I
only
was
had
like,
2
"Ugh."
bottles of water.
Probably.
We had like
Yeah,
a
that's
cooler, like
I know,
prepped, and we were
he-
carrying
he
it
looked
down.
like
And
a
he was like,
steep
drink the
princess.
water, drink the water. I was
Yeah.
like, I'm trying. It hurts. I was like, I can't chug.
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
like, I can't drink any more water, guys. I'm
We
sorry.
were just trying to look out. We were scared that
Yeah.
you would be like me. And
Yes.
It's a long day. It was a 12
I'd be
hour
like,
day.
and faint in the heat. And she's like, it's fine.
Yeah, we're-
A couple
we're used to
bottles of
dealing with
water.
our
Well,
princess.
I had
For
been
real.
working outside all summer so far.
That's true.
Like
Yeah, you're kinda built up for it.
I mean, it
Building
was
up
so
tolerance.
hot, but like the stamina that requires that outdoor theater requires
Yeah.
was
In a 10-pound
absolutely
dress.
insane.
Yeah.
And like I feel like everybody should experience that once, but it was like truly so painful to be outside for that long and in that heat. And so it was super hot, but I was much more prepared for it,
Yeah, that's
having
good.
been outside all the month prior.
Again, just those kind of things aligning, like
Yeah,
for
it
you to
was
be
so
prepared for
perfect.
that and for us to not pass out on the day, but
Right.
rather
Yeah.
after that.
Yeah.
At least in the middle. It's better when I'm at home and I
Yeah.
can just go back to bed.
Yeah.
You know, crawl back into my bed.
I got some wild sunburns that day.
Me too.
Yeah.
Well, you can see it in the video.
Yeah.
I was burnt by the
Your
end of the
nose
day.
Yeah.
was
My
so
nose was very red.
I remember that.
Madison definitely commented on during a scene. By
It
the
was
way,
it was already red by the first
I know.
date scene
I
when
know.
we recorded
I know.
that.
That's the
So
first- that was our
I was like,
topic.
are you okay?
If you couldn't tell what we were talking about, our topic of conversation was, Brody, you look burnt as frick. And you should, and I said, yeah, I should probably put on sunscreen. And she was like, I think it's too late.
Too late.
It was far too late.
And I
at that
did
point.
put on sunscreen, was too late, can confirm. The other fun thing about that day was constant costume changes.
Yeah.
Because it was supposed to take place over
Did I
a large
get
period
a
of time.
costumer credit on that? I don't.
Yeah.
Is the camera? No.
That's Mark Rodney's taking care of
Yeah.
that.
Mark Rodney, Mr.
We'll just-
He'll
Rodney.
deal
We'll
with
send it
that.
up the flagpole.
Mr.
and-
Rodney.
Still don't know who he is.
It's
Yeah.
our middle names.
Yeah.
In case people don't know yet, it's everywhere. We've tried
Until
to
a
put that
problem
everywhere.
arises, then he's a very real person.
Then he's real, yeah.
I didn't know, and I asked Ethan. I asked Ethan, and all I said was, "So what?" And I was thinking about it, and he goes, "It's our middle names."
Without even.
He literally knew He knew what my question was going to be, and I literally went, and that was it. So
Yeah.
We get asked that question
Yeah.
all the time.
The amount of times that, like, okay, it's Brody's friend, and then I get entered in the picture for the creative project later on. The amount of times people go, "Oh, good to meet you, Mark."
No,
I'm like,
I was
"Oh
like,
my
and you went to the same school, so I was
Yeah.
like, I recognize this guy, but I don't know why, because I'm assuming he's Mark.
Yeah.
And then
He
I was
must
just
be
like,
Mark.
I
Must
don't
be
know
Mark.
a Mark. And then he's like, oh, it's Ethan. I was like, oh,
Ethan,
okay,
Mark.
yeah.
Weird, yeah.
Got you.
So the way we pulled off those outfits, by the way,
Yes, back to the costumes.
yeah, was we both brought a trunk full of costume changes.
Yeah.
So that was all of your own clothes, except for one scene you borrowed a shirt. That was my shirt.
I used your shirt. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, I feel like you were dating, so I'd wear your
I'd
shirt.
be like
yeah.
in that shirt, and we needed an extra. I think we needed that color maybe or something. We were like, this.
Yeah, it was
would
the
probably work better.
blue. Yeah.
Muted
And we were like, that
palette.
definitely
Yeah.
makes sense if two people are in a relationship, they're borrowing like
Yeah.
a T-shirt or something. But we had a pop-up tent,
Yeah.
2 of them.
We bought it for this production.
We bought a pop-up tent because we knew we were gonna be outside all day. We're not gonna have access to like bathrooms or like a trailer. Like once again, Ethan wanted me to keep it cheap, so no trailer. I've never had a trailer. in my life.
I was just like, where do you get off?
That's just funny. So we had a little pop-up tent, like $40 on Amazon, something like that.
Yeah.
So like between every new setup, new scene, we were taking turns running into that little changing tent in 90-degree weather. It's
Oh my
hot
gosh,
in
that
tent.
thing was miserable.
cooking. It was
That
a
thing
black
was
tent.
so
Black, yeah.
hot.
Yeah.
I
It was an
actually,
oven.
well, I at one point we changed because I was also it's like 90 degrees. I'm sweating and I had to
Me too.
put jeans on and off my body.
Yeah.
and that's awful.
Impossible.
And jeans and leggings. It was
Jeez.
like literally like a nightmare. And so after the first time I went into that tent, I was like, I couldn't even breathe in the tent. I was like holding my breath. And then after that, I was like, you know what? No, I'm wasting my gas. And I got into my car I changed in my car every time. I blasted the heat. My car's got like a max AC button. So it just was like
Nice.
blowing. And I would just
Pumping
sit
cold
and I
air,
would
yeah.
just,
Yeah.
and then I'd
Meanwhile-
go back out.
Meanwhile, I kept getting in that little tent.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not getting in there.
Maybe that's why I almost passed out at the end of the night. It was the
Probably.
tent,
Yeah.
which was 110 instead of 90 for some reason.
Yeah, it was
I
so
used
hot.
it to get into my swimsuit
Oh, yeah.
for the water shots. That was,
Yeah, because Ethan had to wade into the water.
Yeah.
Which is a gospel song of some kind.
Give us a little.
Wade in the water.
Yeah, I was like, I know it. I did it in choir.
But yeah, he went out into the water. If you're wondering how he got some of those shots of
Yeah.
us like on the thing and skipping rocks and all that, which
Our buddy Jordan
couldn't do.
trusted his red camera to me. I was
Oh,
like,
he was stressing the entire time, though.
I was like, Jordan, you can tell me no, but what are the odds I can take this thing out into the water
And he's
stick
like,
it on this
you
tripod?
pay for it if you break it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, fair
Fair.
enough.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
But now that you brought up skipping rocks, I feel like we need to go back to that.
I guess. Go ahead.
So I have never skipped a rock at that point. So in the film, he's trying to teach me how to skip a rock, and in real life, he was trying to, being all directory as he was being, was trying to teach me how to skip a rock. And
Mansplaining how to.
Oh,
skip
it
a
was
rock.
he was absolutely mansplaining the rock to me, and is like whatever. Failed every single time. He's like, well, it usually works. So like, I don't know, and then got like one of them, and then. But for the actual scene, and then I started getting it. I was figuring it out. For the actual like scene that we were filming, he has to make the first one to like show me how to do it, like impress me, and he could not make it.
I just actually couldn't skip the rock.
It was no. It literally would just plop right
over
in.
and I was like, yeah, it's all on the wrist. You know, I'm really trying to, and then I'd plunk. Like nothing would happen. So embarrassing. And we just ended up changing the literal scene to be like funny in that way. I'm
That
pretty
you were
sure.
like, you ended up being that like you taught me how to do it, but like you were a teacher, not a doer.
Yeah, like
so
I
like
just
then
did it.
I figured it out, and then like you taught me, and then I actually skipped the rock, which was an act. Like that was the first time I got it, and we got that on film. And so like my celebration, if we use that shot, like
real.
my celebration was real because I had never skipped a rock before, and I was very
we
excited.
did it. And by
yeah.
we, I mean like I pretended like I was helping by having my hand
Yeah,
there.
his hand was
but
like on
she
my
just got
hand,
out of the
but it was
way.
just me. Yeah.
Yeah, which is hilarious. I also didn't know how to fish. I am not a fisherman.
That's
That
true.
was
I had
my
to show
favorite
him how to
part.
cast.
So
But it was a windy day, so I don't think we even used that in the final thing because it just looked weird.
talk about a day of
no offense.
All that for it to not be.
talk about a day of me being vulnerable with the things that maybe
Brody
are
doesn't
not my
spend much time in the
strengths.
outdoors these days.
I'm not super outdoorsy.
Not
I-
outdoorsy, but an athlete.
Here's what I say.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Go back and watch the footage. I like outside. I'm not outdoorsy.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. I like, oh, it's the sun. It's nice outside. I love summer.
Go take a walk on a sidewalk.
Go take a walk in the city. Don't throw me in the wilderness. I'll die. But rock skipping, fishing, even dancing, not my thing either.
Yep.
If it's like choreographed, if you're like thinking about hiring me or something for like a stage show, I am athletic. I am capable of learning. But on the day when it's just like improv, let's dance a bit, John had to step in and help us a little bit. You had to step in and help us a little bit. And even then,
They stepped in for me, didn't they?
Maybe.
I
but
think so.
To try to show
To
me what
help
to do.
you, yeah.
And they're like, Brody, you look so awkward. Let's do that again. I was like, we go back to making wingmen where I just get to be cool and say cool lines in a
Walk
suit.
through a bar
and just be. Pool I happen to be really good at that day. Not the case on this. Every single thing I did in this was
Acting
like,
humbles
I
you.
suck. That's right. It does. And is vulnerable.
Right.
So I just threw myself out there and, it's all good. Just laughed my way through it. Didn't cry at all. It was fine. We had that all day. It was fun. It was great. We wrapped at, I want to talk a little bit about crying.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
So we got some tears going with a little special tool.
No, it was all natural.
Brody said, "Hit me."
I'm an
I said, "Are you
actor.
sure?"
And he punched me in the eye. So maybe you're an actor and maybe you are amazing at just crying on command. I don't know. I think given unlimited time,
Right.
I think we could. I think that's something I've done before. But it's a challenge
But
and
for how
it
many
takes.
takes?
Well, I would say personally, something that I lack in terms of like training for that is that with theater training, everything is a buildup. So you have an hour to get to where you need to be to cry. And so like I've experienced that where it's like, oh, okay, like as long as I've had these 4 scenes and now I've experienced, I'm in this state, I'm in these emotions, I felt all these things with this other person, then it's like so much easier for me to find that.
And your body learns.
Yes.
It's in theater, you're doing it over and over again. Your body is trained like I'm getting to that point, and it just starts to get emotional because you've already
Well,
done
because
it
even like
many
I'll just
times.
like I'll get there and then it's like I'll just start to like breathe differently and like just convince my body. They like I've seen things where you like trick your nervous system into feeling like you're crying because as long as your body feels like it is, then
Diaphragm,
you could.
soft palate, all
Yeah.
those things.
So, and then versus film where it's like turn it off, turn it back on,
Yeah.
and it's just so different.
Yeah.
And to be able to turn on, it's so impressive. Like I want to get there where
Me
I
too.
can just be like boom, tears.
And
But-
it's also, you're talking about, tears are a bodily, biological thing, as in it requires liquid.
Oh, and we were dehydrated.
Yeah, we were
Yeah, now that you say that.
extraordinarily dehydrated, and so crying dehydrated is no joke. I mean, that's rare, it's difficult. So we had a little assistant that day called the tear stick, which, doesn't diminish the performance at all, I don't think, but it does help you generate some tears.
Yeah.
And all actors have different tricks. Tear sticks are used all the time. Literally, people will just hold open their eyes until they
Yeah.
start watering, like whatever it takes, Or, there's the genuine, if we have time and we're
Right.
on a $100 million movie and you want to cry, then sure, we can spend the time getting into the right headspace and getting there. We're talking about losing light and like being in a,
Right, we had, like,
we
no
have to wrap
time,
in an
yeah.
hour and stuff. So we got to use the tear stick, which I think was kind of fun too. I've never used one before.
I
Yeah.
hadn't either at that point.
I actually didn't know. I don't think I knew you had it like ready to go. And I was like, oh, this is cool.
It's not what I thought it was. It looks like a lipstick. It
Yep.
looks like a literal lipstick. Like it's not what
Yeah.
I thought it was going to look like either.
Exactly like lipstick. You put it under the eyes, and it really gets you.
But it's menthol, right? That's
Yep.
what it.
Yeah.
Didn't get like
Yep.
the fumes get up in your eyes and you're like,
menthol hits your eyes and your eyes start to water, and that's the idea. And the nice part about it is it's not like holding your eyes open or
Right.
like having to fake it like that. You can put it
Right.
on, start the scene, and you could start to cry as the
Which
scene
like
goes.
I feel like I definitely did. Like it just
Yeah.
got me. It just got me started. I guess
Yeah.
basically in
And
that
It
headspace.
just opened up the floodgates.
Yeah.
And there's something about performing too as an actor when you start to cry
Yeah.
that it helps you get into the moment even more, and it does feel real because your body's like, I'm crying, like
Yeah.
you feel like,
Right.
and you convince your mind when you're in it.
You guys
know?
definitely got into it.
Yeah,
after
and so we had
that started.
I think we had a good time.
Yeah.
Like as actors, it's enjoyable. But I mean, like going into that and like we said, we had an argument scene where we're
Yeah.
like tearing up and we're yelling at each other, and then we sat in our respective cars
Yeah.
and really cried.
Well, something that I liked about it too was because it was silent, we were able to play music in
Yeah.
our cars. So, like, again, I had just broken up with my boyfriend. And I hadn't cried really about it yet or processed anything because I was so
We're
busy.
glad to help you process.
No,
this stuff,
really,
you know,
yeah,
whatever
yeah.
we can do.
Part-time
Madison.
therapist.
But it like I picked like a sad Lizzie McAlpine song and just sobbed, and it was lovely. Like
Yeah.
it's so cathartic.
I got in the car because there's nobody else in the car because it's a confined space. So it's just like me and you guys,
Yeah.
or one at a time, right? But I'm like filming, and it's like you guys are just like giving it all you got and like digging deep to like really just like let it all out. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is actually like pretty heavy, like just to be here in the space. So I was just kind of quiet, like filming, but that was kind of a new experience too for like a heavier scene as a
Right.
DP too. But
It's interesting for
cool.
crew. It always is. We had a small crew, and it's even weirder
Right.
for a big crew. You know, like you have all these people gathered around you, but
Yeah.
even just to reach that vulnerability with a camera in your face and like knowing it's like everybody's around and stuff
Yeah.
like that, you have to kind of block it out. You
Yeah.
know, and even as a DP, you have to kind of get out of the way of it.
Yep.
And be focused. Just get the shot and like don't interrupt. Like
Right.
let them be in the moment. Don't talk to them much.
Yeah.
Only what you have to say. You
Right.
know, that sort of thing. So that's how we wrapped up the day. And then we were like, "Great day,
Oh, great
everybody!
day,
Good
everybody.
job.
It was great."
Brody had menthol stuck in his eye. I remember
I
you got the tear
did.
stick like
Oh, yeah.
in his eye. He's like, I need a water bottle.
I was literally going like this as like we were
Yeah.
like wrapping the day to get
He's
it
like,
out of my
good
eyeball.
job. Have a
could-
great life. See you later.
I could barely keep my eyes open. But anyway, we're going to wrap this up real quick.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
But essentially, we got through the whole day. Got into the edit and realized that it was too powerful
Yeah.
and too emotionally deep and resonant
for the song that you had written.
for the song that I'd
Yeah.
written. So it has become a companion song that is not in the actual project itself, but stands alone as its own song. And we did a music video for it, a little like behind the scenes music video. You see us in the studio, and we're going to show some shots like from the film and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Which I think was
So-
a really fun pivot, and you guys did a great job.
And I'm loving how the song's coming
It
along.
was really. I liked the idea. I thought it was even like more fun, especially like the second
Yeah.
time getting to record it because like there were more people there. You know, we're like getting notes. The cameras are there. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, like what do I do?
Yeah,
do
yeah.
I look at you? I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, we threw some cameras at her this time. We're like, we'll go smoother this time. It'll be great.
Yeah.
We're gonna film everything. But it did go great and went well. Both of us got a chance to kind of like adjust to like being in that studio space, and that was my
For
second
sure,
time
yeah.
recently, and so it was like trying to learn that process so different than even singing on stage, which we've both
I had
done.
never been in a studio before.
Right.
I had never sang.
And I hadn't
Yeah.
sang in a studio up till Bye Bye Bye. So it was only my second
Yeah.
opportunity. So we did that. We'll now have both Patina you can watch, and then also the song.
Yeah,
will also
Patina,
be
the vignette, and then there's we're making it basically its own music video for
Yep.
the song that you wrote.
for a song. So there's a pretty song called Patina, kind of like a more Disney-esque love song, which is why
Yeah.
it didn't quite fit. It was like, it's kind of uplifting and kind of happy
Yeah.
feeling, and it doesn't reach those depths that we hit. And so the song is now instrumental, and it hits so much harder.
Yeah.
And that's the way, like, especially with small creative projects like that, I love the flexibility of that,
Oh,
where you
yeah.
can change on the dime and be like,
So pumped
this is
on
going to
that.
be better for the project. Let's just do it. And now we have two pieces instead of one,
Yeah.
which is, cool and better overall.
Even going into that day, some of the inspiration that I pulled was from like an emotionally resonant vignette that I saw online from another cinematographer. So it was like, for me, it was like kind of satisfying that I hit that in a sense of my own project.
Yeah.
But like, it should be no surprise that it was like a little heavier than what even from just the camera guy, like perspective, like it matters.
I think that's just where we ended up that day too. We clearly both had an itching for the drama side of it
Right.
too.
For sure.
Performers, for you as the DP, like we all just
in producing a project.
we ended up
like
making,
Yeah.
I think,
stuff.
what we wanted to on the day.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
You know, which is great.
And you're not like an experienced songwriter. Like it was
No.
it's a fun song, but it was like a little bit more like I kept calling it like Disney, like a little bit more like fun and
Right.
like which I think
Feels
is
lighter.
on brand for a lot of your creativity.
Right.
But it just I think it needs its
The
own
song
thing.
didn't end up quite fitting that project that
Right.
we shot, which is, like I said, it's fun. We ended up with 2 pieces. It was fun for me to write a song too. Like I've done that maybe twice in my life. Or
That's why
3
we're Mark
times.
Rodney Entertainment and not Mark Rodney Films or something
Yeah,
like
Yeah.
that.
because creativity, we're working
Yeah.
on other ways of storytelling too in the background. So
Which that's what was cool about this project for me specifically, getting to do something like different. When you were talking about like storytelling and art, I've like been thinking about that recently, like with processing things, or like just the way that sometimes you're not like ready to tell X, Y, and Z story, or like sometimes it's finally time to tell that story,
Yeah.
or like finding, when you're not ready to tell that story, finding like different ways to make art or different art to make in the meantime of those things. And it, like you were saying, I feel like everything kind of aligned in that sense. Like part of like me was able to be in this, even though I wasn't necessarily ready to tell a different story. I don't know. I don't know if that makes sense.
No,
but,
it
like,
makes sense.
Yeah.
just the way that, I don't know, just the way that art just impacts
How
in
art
different ways.
manifests a little bit,
Yeah,
like,
yeah. Like it can
Comes to be.
something that you weren't expecting it to be, and then change you in a way you weren't expecting it to change you because you didn't think it like touched that part of your life.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
it does. You know what I mean? Like then it
very
does.
really cool.
poetically said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love
Very
it.
nice.
It's a good way to wrap it up.
Yeah, I was saying, that was great. That was a great finish. But yeah, so that was Patina. That will conclude our 12th episode of the Mark Rodney Show.
Rodney
Yes.
Thanks, Madison.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
This was so. I've
Yeah.
never done a podcast before, so I could
First
say this was my
podcast.
first. Yay!
Very exciting. Very exciting. So we'll see you in the next one. Go watch Patina.
Yeah.
And also check out the music video if it's out or when it comes out.
Yep. All right. Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Adios.